everybody. Welcome. Good morning and good
Or good
afternoon.
afternoon.
Welcome to Coffee Chat, for which I have no coffee. All I have is lights.
Oh, that's sad. Guess what I've got?
Decaf coffee. Oh,
And electrolyte.
Double fisting it.
I mean, it's a common situation for me. I can't leave the house with fewer than 2 cups. Otherwise, I feel very much so like I'm not managing all of it. So
Yeah.
it's okay. It's okay.
Patty is here. She gets the prize for first in the chat. We should acknowledge that we currently have 3 live streams running. They're all the same.
Not sure.
Technology is not like our best friend.
That's right.
We coexist with technology. We don't.
We're friendly with it. We're friendly.
Yeah.
We're very friendly to it. We'll talk to it at parties, but also it's not going to be coming over for a sleepover.
It does no favors for us.
It really doesn't.
Yeah. So, Lindsey has 2. I have 1. All of them work.
I'm just special. I don't know.
Yeah. We're going to try to figure that out next week.
Hopefully.
Cheryl is here. Hello. Rita is here. Dustin is here. He's shopping at Walmart currently. Awesome.
Oh, well, I'm glad we can keep you company in the craziness.
Yeah. Well, it's like kind of adding to the craziness, but whatever. Let's see. Risa is here. Hello. Sing It wants to know if you have a ponytail. Show us your hair.
I have
fancy mom clip.
Yeah, I got the fancy mom clip. And I really like this one. I actually have a few of these. They're kind of like, because my hair's so short, but it's still like thick hair. So like this guy is kind of like thicker, but it's not so long.
Yeah.
And it's got a really nice, I'm a texture person, and it feels like the new keto chow bags.
Nice.
It's the best way I can describe that. But yeah, it's like got a nice kind of like velvety almost feel to it without it being velvet. Got them for real inexpensive off the Amazons, and it's like a color that kind of coordinates with my hair to a certain degree. So I feel like I can just like it up and move on with my life whenever I don't feel like doing anything with my hair. Oh my goodness. If there's one thing that I do amazingly, it is never leave my hair alone.
Yeah.
And bring multiple cups at all times.
Everyone has different, talents and gifts. Rickwin is here. Good morning. Kim is here. Yvonne, hello. From East Texas, just finished her decaf for the day.
What part of East Texas?
I had half decaf this morning, and then I was feeling like that was enough for me today.
So sad. My heart hurts.
My tolerance is not as high as it used to be. Let's just say
mean, I just need the flavor of coffee just always with me.
Yeah.
The flavor and the temperature of hot coffee. Like I need it.
Yeah, I just felt like I needed some more hydration.
Well, look at you being a good quality human, sipping on that water the way Jonathan told you to.
I'm trying. I feel like such a good human after doing all the things Jonathan told me to do for the week.
Oh, dagnabbit. No, I feel like I gotta go and hire him and be like, okay, Jonathan, make me a good human.
It's me. Yeah, like I counted my macros. I drank lots of water. I did all the things.
You sound like disgusting adult type behaviors, and I don't know if I can abide in that.
Yeah, it has taken me a bit to like be okay with limitations. Which I know that's not your forte.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's been a journey. But so I have my call with Jonathan after this. So yeah, it's been a full week for me, even though my video of my first one only just came out a few days ago. So
I thoroughly enjoyed that, by the way. So I am so excited to see what kind of strides you make. Running strides.
Literally. Yep. Yeah,
It just doesn't stop, people. It just doesn't stop.
it'll be exciting. Yeah. A lot of
For
work,
sure.
but I'm excited about, you got to break out of your comfort zone. If you don't do something different, what's that saying? If you keep doing the same, you'll get the same. I don't know that thing.
Yeah, if you don't do anything different, nothing will be different. I mean, you can say that about 18 different ways.
Good. And it's true. And so it has been, pushing me out of my comfort zone, like limiting protein. Like, what is that? Nothing is unlimited in my life. I have to control everything.
I mean,
but it's good. It's good.
you don't have to control how often you breathe.
Well, I'm trying to get my breathing rate down. That's one of the things I'm tracking.
Oh my goodness, it just
I'm
goes
so stressed out
deeper.
that I'm breathing too much.
How dare you? How very dare
I
you?
have to track everything. Oh, goodness. Blaze is here. Good morning, Blaze. Suzanne is here. Looked like you had a new short haircut.
Yeah, I don't. In fact, my hair
growing
is
your hair out again.
I am.
It's so cute,
so
short, though. But it's cute
it
long too.
can be. It
Yeah.
can be. I don't think I love the exact cut that I got the last go around. So I'm trying to let it grow out to where the shortest layers are long enough to get trimmed so that I can trim it up in a way that I like, to where like I can do, a little wave to it and it looks cute, or I can have it straight and it looks cute. Hair is just, it's always been a thing for me.
Yes.
A struggle bus thing for me.
Dustin says that we need a production manager to run tech. I don't know of any of those that work for free. So
I don't know of any ones that are good quality production managers who work for free.
sure,
Like, I'm
yeah.
sure we could find somebody to do it for free. I mean, I've got a 13-year-old who could probably do it for free. I don't know that the quality would be what we want.
Exactly. It's a hard life. Yep. Now, we've always said what you see is what you get. Like, this is it. We don't have, a production team. We don't have any filming crews.
I do have lights.
Lights, yeah.
I have lights,
Yeah,
so that I can be lit.
yeah. Wow.
I mean, I could just use these windows back here, but ultimately that requires a lot more effort from me, and then I have to sit instead of stand, and I don't sit very well, so.
Understandable. Okay, let's see. Dustin, different Dustin says, I have to run to a meeting, but this will be waiting in the background. Awesome.
Aww.
Okay. Sing It asked about the chat cups, which we did already address. And I'm angering the
Black decaf
coffee
coffee
gods.
and
I'm angering
electrolytes.
the coffee gods by just having electrolytes.
Can I just tell you how much I love that we have coordinated matching cups?
I think Chris and Miriam did that on purpose.
I'm pretty positive.
Like, they're just the sweetest.
I will say this much though, the color that I love the most is I think it's called Aspen, and it's this most brilliant green favorite color. And I've got some plans for a situation happening in April using, perhaps, allegedly, hypothetically, an Aspen green Stanley mug.
Wow. Well, that's exciting. Sounds gorgeous.
And if you're guessing that I'm going to launch it out of a potato launcher, keep it to yourself.
I wouldn't be surprised. Brisa says, I've had 2 cups of coffee already with adaptogens in them, having fried hard-boiled eggs. There you go. I haven't done that in a while. I made boiled eggs yesterday. I have some in the fridge. That's going to be part of my day today.
I love it.
With hot sauce and bacon, pre-workout meal. That sounds amazing. Speak of the devil, Jonathan Shane is here.
Hi, Jonathan Shane.
He says that your clippy clip looks like a
weapon.
I mean, you can never be too careful. Brass knuckles. It would probably hurt. It would hurt both the clip and your hand and the person's face.
I was gonna say, I feel like it would hurt me the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's aggressive on my hand because like it's got these little like teeth.
Yeah.
And those are aggressive. That's the aggressive part.
Brian says hanging out in the shop making cutting boards. That sounds awesome.
That is so fun.
I've tried to convince my husband to make some cutting boards and we could sell them or something, but he's like, it would be too much work and it wouldn't be worth the money.
The cost. Yeah.
We'd have to charge like $100 a cutting board.
Oh, the cutting board that I got Jared for his birthday 2 years back, I think. I mean, it's a good sized cutting board. I mean, I show it all the time in my videos, and I want to get him another one that's even bigger, but it's like at some point the juice is not worth the squeeze. You're thinking like, oh my goodness. Well, I store it on the counter. Like it's always on the counter. It's just a permanent fixture there. And I'm like, man, if this thing was double this size, how awesome would that be? And then I realized the sink is not large enough to wash that in. So then it's a problem, and trying to like keep it oiled properly. Like, there's a lot of care that goes into a wooden cutting board.
There is, anyway. Yes. Yeah.
But, it's one of those things where you always feel like, oh, if it could be just a little bigger.
Yeah. Well, I want like a butcher block, like counter. That would be amazing. Yes. One day.
Definitely.
Let's see. Judy is here. Jonathan says that we can track breathing. I think that would be important. I'll just count it all day long.
You got to practice the art of box breathing because the Hubes, aka Andrew Huberman, he tells you box breathing is good. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I did do a cold plunge the other week. I told you about it. I don't think I told everyone else about it, but I did.
I did a cold plunge one time. That's what she did.
I've done it twice now. So.
Oh.
No, it's amazing how horrible it is to get in and then how good it is when you're done. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. But I mean, I feel like being on swim team in my youth, I experienced the cold plunge experience because we would swim outside, and that first that first 25 meters, you were just like,
yeah.
And then once you got into it, you were like, yeah.
It's like 6 a.m. cold pool outside. Yeah. I mean, that's why we were so healthy back then.
Right.
Oh, nothing to do with the youth part of it, but whatever.
Zero. I mean, my diet was garbage, and if we've learned anything on these however many years, it's that diet is the end all be all.
Yeah, well, it is. Okay, so I had a realization this week. So, I've been struggling with my cardiac health, and my Fitbit tells me that my cardiac health is poor to fair. And I was like, you know what? I have not eaten enough Cheerios recently. There's no other way to explain it. It says right on the box it's heart healthy, and I completely cut Cheerios out of my diet. What a mistake.
Well, you know what? That's just garbage. How dare you?
I'm going to go on an all Cheerio diet until I'm fixed.
I never liked Cheerios as a child or as an adult. There were like 3 cereals on the planet that I would consider eating, and it was Cinnamon Toast Crunch, Apple Jacks, and I think that might be it. There's 2, not 3.
Those are probably heart healthy too, so maybe I'll add those in.
Okay.
For some variety.
Yeah. You got to have a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I never liked Cheerios as a child because they're not sweet much.
That's right. They were sugar bombs.
You have to dump a bunch of sugar on them, but I do like them. Like as an adult, I started liking them, but then I stopped eating them, and that is my downfall. Oops. Oh, most of the production managers I know work for free. All right. Well, there you go.
Are you saying that you are a production manager, Dustin? Is that what I'm understanding here? I feel like you're being very, very clear with your cryptic discussion here.
Yeah, YouTube doesn't pay most of the time. It takes a lot to get YouTube to pay you. Very true.
Yeah. We do this because we enjoy it, not because it's lucrative.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. Yeah, if I figured out all of the time that I've spent on YouTube over the years and how much I've gotten paid spread out, it would not be worth it. Let's say that. You don't do it for the money. I mean, now I make some money, but it was a lot of years of not making any money to get to this point.
I mean, yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. So, Petite D says the trick is to not count incomplete proteins like collagen and peanut butter. That should save you a few grams here and there. Yeah, I have not gone to that degree. Just counting total. I don't do a lot of like collagen. I mean, and like pork rinds, if you have pork rinds, there's,
Sure.
But then, it's like he's got me on the macros, so it's like there's the carbs, the fat, and the protein. And if I eat incomplete protein, it can't go into any of the other categories. It has to go into the protein cat. And I don't know. I'm just trying to follow the rules.
Pork rinds don't go on fat too?
They would, yeah. They would go on the protein and the fat. But the protein in them, where do you put it if it doesn't go in the protein?
Right, because the calories still exist.
Right.
The macros still exist. Yeah. Do you have to add on tryptophan in order to make that one a complete protein? I can't remember which amino acid it's missing.
I have no idea. Let's see. Ooh, okay. So, Suzanne went to the conference this weekend. That looked really fun. And I really hope they put up the videos from that. It sounded like they might. So
yeah,
that would be really cool. Yeah, I was like, oh, that would be so fun to be there. Everyone was there. Would have been
all the peoples.
All the peoples. Yep. Let's see. Hayden says, I'm always late for coffee. And Lynette is here. Good morning.
Hi, Lynette.
Lynette.
We love Lynette.
Yes, we do. Natalie says, Neely, your hair is getting so long. Yes, it is. We just discussed this before getting on. I'm watching while I wait for my new crown to be made. I assume, the one that you wear on your head or the one in your mouth.
I immediately went to the head because she discussed your hair. So in context, it made it feel like it was for the hair. But you mentioning
probably a princess.
Oral piece of it has me doubting my initial reaction.
Whatever the case, awesome. Hope says warm chocolate mint keto chow here in Western Canada.
Ooh,
good.
Sounds super delicious.
With going dairy free, I've had to give up most of the keto chows, which is sad. But the cores are pretty great. And now
they are really good.
The chocolate, the vanilla, and the strawberry. You can make a lot of different flavors. So I can still do chocolate
for sure.
Chocolate mint. I was just thinking I should do vanilla with peanut butter powder and make just like a peanut butter one. So there's
a good plan.
I'll survive. Dustin says, I want to do cold plunges, but I don't want to mess with ice bags. Yeah, I just did the coldest water from my tap into my tub, and that's about 59 degrees. And then I added just a little bit of ice, not a lot. So it got it down to 57 or something like that. Yeah.
Can't with you people.
Let's see. Okay, Hayden has a weird question. Does apple cider vinegar go off, go bad? I have a large jug of it, and I discovered it in the back of the pantry that must be a year or two old. I don't think so.
I think it's acidic enough to kill everything.
Yeah. I think it just becomes more vinegar.
Right.
More vinegar.
Yeah. It's as long as there was never any foreign contaminants introduced.
Right. And the vinegar would kill that most of the time.
Hopefully. Yeah. I mean, mold can grow in kombucha if it's certain kinds and it's the wrong temperature.
Yeah.
So, I would imagine that it's pretty solid.
Yeah. Okay. Sing It says, be happy, be healthy. Do it.
We're in it. Yeah. Just do it.
All right. Don't forget your cholesterol drug Oreos. Have you
Oh,
have you seen all this drama about the
of
Oreo
course
cholesterol?
I've seen it all. Thank you, Nick Norwitz. We
Yeah.
appreciate your sacrifice for science.
I needed an excuse, really,
Oh my
to
goodness.
go
I
back to
tell
the
you what,
Oreo.
Oreos were literally my favorite growing up.
So
I mean,
good.
to this day, if
Mm.
I knew that it wouldn't cause me tremendous inflammation and I could get away with it, I would probably have a sleeve of Oreos a day.
Yeah. Did
But
you ever eat
back
the Oreo O cereal? Speaking of cereal.
Yes. Yes, but that
Your
one was
sister.
so much more rare to find on the shelves when I was, like, in that phase of life. I much preferred Pop-Tarts, to be honest, like
I never really ate Pop-Tarts. That was not a thing growing up.
I loved Pop-Tarts. Mom and dad, they would buy the unfrosted plain, like
Oh, the healthy one.
strawberry, blueberry, or, I wanna say raspberry maybe, or cherry, I can't remember. And I can remember being like 4 years old, mom pregnant with my little sister, getting woken up because mom went into labor and I needed to be dropped off at my grandparents' house so they could go deliver my sister. And I can
Uh-huh.
remember sitting in a big old baggy t-shirt at the table, eating unfrosted Pop Tarts, and it was the best. And
Wow.
and then they
Wow.
came out with the Oreo Pop Tarts. What was my life? It was
God.
amazing.
Those probably lower
I
your
know too much
cholesterol
now.
too.
I know too much. I know too much.
Captain Crunch berries. Did you do Captain Crunch?
No. My sister did. I did not. I was also the kid that
Mm.
could not eat cereal in milk
Oh,
at all.
weird.
Like, I had to have the milk on the side and the cereal dry, like, that's how it had to be.
Hmm.
And I've kind of gone in a different direction here that might be very interesting within the next or in about a week or so. Um, I've got I've got a thing happening that might allow me to do it differently.
Okay.
I was very poorly stated and cryptic. I don't know.
Very cryptic. Now everyone's on the edge of their seat.
Like and subscribe for more.
Okay, well, as far as Captain Crunch goes, it was always the peanut butter. I mean, I would eat the other ones, sure, but the peanut butter, oh man. Oh man, so good. And the
That was the business for you.
Reese's Puffs. Oh gosh. Why are we talking so much about terrible food today? It's all
I
my fault.
don't know.
It's all my
I,
fault.
I really don't know.
They're all heart healthy though. That's the point. And so we should add Oreos and we should add Cheerios. All of the O's.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you do that because I'm out.
Yeah. I'll ask Jonathan what he thinks about that idea.
He did mention you needed some carbs and they
That's
needed
true.
to be starchy.
Then Cheerios it is. That'll fix
Don't
me.
those have gluten?
I don't think so. I don't think
Some
so.
of it's got to have wheat in it somewhere.
Yeah. Well, with the oats and the wheat, apparently they sometimes alternate wheat one year and oats the next year, back and forth. And so even though oats don't technically have gluten in them as they grow, sometimes they can be contaminated because of growing in the same place. The things you learn when you give up gluten.
Ugh.
Yeah. Which is why you can find gluten-free oats at the store. That just means that they
We're not
were
crust
not
grown.
grown. Yeah, with wheat. Yeah.
I gotcha. I gotcha.
Okay, Natalie says dental crown. All right. Now, we thought you
That
were
gives me much sadness for you, but also like once it's all cleared up and done, it'll alleviate the things.
yeah. Suzanne says it was my 60th birthday too this weekend, so meeting all the YouTube stars was awesome. That is amazing. What an amazing birthday.
Congratulations on living 3 scores.
Yes, and happy birthday. Oh, Lynette was at the conference too. It was pretty awesome. The talks were so incredible and a great reminder to why we eat the way we do. Yep, that's awesome. Because sometimes you need to be reminded. Sometimes it's just
For
not
sure.
it's just not fun enough to keep you going. Let's see. More about protein on Chronometer. I just edit a copy of the item taking out the protein. Interesting. I'm usually under eating protein though, so I like to know what I'm getting. when that I'm getting a good amount of complete protein. Yeah, that's important to know. So like if you're just eating pork rinds and collagen coffee and all that, that's like a major part of your diet, then that's important to look at for sure.
Good point.
Oh, Sing It says, can you still have coconut cream? Still need to watch the video. Sure. Oh yeah, the video on the coaching call number 1. Yes, I can have coconut. So I've made the keto chow core with some coconut milk. That was really good. And then of course I do the tallow also for that. But yeah, I love coconut milk. Even in like soups and stuff. Well, I don't like the coconut flavor so much, but it works great when you're not having dairy, like to make a creamy soup or things like that. So it's very useful. When you're comparing anything to actual dairy, it's like, I'm never going to tell anyone that coconut milk tastes like cream. That's just a flat out lie. And if anyone tries to tell me that, I don't listen to anything else they say. So.
Yeah.
Oh yes. So she said, "Be happy, be healthy," and not like I didn't even think about the honey nut
That's funny. Does he have a name? I feel like he has a name.
I don't know.
I feel like he should have a name. Mr. Peanut has a name.
Yeah.
I'm sure the gecko has a name, but he never shares it.
He's just the Geico gecko. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hayden says now we need to know the thing. Come on, Lindsay. You can't tease us like that.
It'll get edited at some point. Be blessed.
Okay. Sing It says, Lindsay, then you may never try the pork rinds with pumpkin spice and allulose in milk of your choice.
Okay. No. I'm gonna let that be for others. I'm not gonna.
I had to give up the pork rind cereal because it was too much of a trigger. Like, there's something about cereal, and I mean, maybe it's partly just having grown up eating cereal. Like, cereal in moderation is just not a thing for me.
Well, and I'm wondering, like, back to Petite D's point with, pork rinds being or not pork, but, incomplete proteins, and pork rinds are an incomplete protein. I'm wondering if it was so triggering because you never felt full because of it not having all the amino acids and everything else that you really needed. And
maybe. Well, and
I'm
then
wondering,
putting dairy on top of it, I can eat dairy all day long. So I think it's a huge combination of things. But I do think that the mental part of it is a piece as well, where it's like, my brain remembers that. So I told you guys about getting einkorn flour for the kids. And they've been using it and loving it. And I got Talia an einkorn cookbook for her birthday, which was just last week, and doing amazing things. So probably like 3 or 4 weeks ago, I was curious about how I would handle einkorn because it is different than wheat. So I ate some. I actually ate a biscuit made with the einkorn. It was delicious. Now, okay, so I haven't had wheat probably in at least 15 years regularly, like without, I haven't had it on purpose. And I had gotten to the point where it's like, I look at it and I don't, like, my body doesn't automatically
draw toward it.
Yeah. Like I some neural pathways changed or something. And so I had that. And then after that, like I would see it and I had the craving again. Like I'd see it like, oh man, I really want to eat that. I was like, dang it. I totally messed that up. And I have not eaten any more since that one moment. And I feel like I think I'll adjust back pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Like it's already, not difficult. It's not difficult to say no to it, but there was that, like, right after I was just like, shoot, that was crazy how quick my brain was like, oh, that's good food. You need to eat that right now.
Your brain was like, listen, it's still kind of winterish. So let's go ahead and let's start storage.
Yeah.
Let's get loaded up for storage.
For that. It doesn't have to be winter.
Right. We're always in pre-famine times.
Yes. Okay. Let's see. Jackie says, there was a cereal called Waffle O's. I seem to remember that when I was a girl. It was so good. Ad campaign was a goofy old cowboy wrestling a cartoon O. Yeah. So crazy. Looking at those
I don't
commercials. Like,
quite remember that one, but I do remember Kabuki crisps or the honeycomb
yes, I remember
cereal.
that one, the crazy.
And I do remember one that was shaped like a waffle. It was a little bitty square, and it
Yes.
was like the Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but it was like a waffle version of it.
Yeah, I remember French Toast Crunch.
Yes, I
Came
remember
out.
that one too.
Yeah, and it was like little tiny pieces of bread.
Why do they have to make it so appealing and so just like cute?
They do a great job
I mean,
of
marketers
making it
are
appealing.
marketing on those, right?
Yeah, it's nuts. Okay. Hayden says, I'm happy to say that Oreos were not a thing in the UK. Interesting. But jammy Dodgers, oh yeah, were something where the packet didn't survive more than one time. Yeah. Those
I'm
things are
unfamiliar with the Jammy Dodgers.
I've heard of them, but I think it's like a sandwich cookie with
Is it like a
jam.
shortbread with jelly, maybe?
Seems like something like that.
I mean, it
Okay,
sounds
well,
delicious.
Destin left Walmart spending less than $80.
He
That,
must have only bought windshield wipers.
yeah, yeah. Oh, Andy says I dip pork rinds into Walden sugar-free syrup. That is very interesting. It sounds good.
Okay.
Sounds good. So, like, people think sweet pork rinds super weird. They are delicious, and
So,
everyone in the family likes them. Like, normally, if there's a keto weird thing, a couple people like it, the rest don't.
yeah,
This is one across the board, and everyone we've like had taste them like them. Like, they are good.
I've done the like my pork rind pellet thing where
Uh-huh.
I coated them with like the cinnamon sugar, like or cinnamon sweetener, not sugar. And they're fun. I just for some reason like in my mind's eye it needs to stay in the savory category.
That makes
Otherwise, it could be very dangerous like you were saying.
Yeah, well, and then in the low carb world, people have used pork rind crumbs for all kinds of sweet things like fridge toast casserole and stuff like that. Like, it's been done. It's
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. Risa says, I eat mainly Seven Sundays Rise and Shine gluten-free cereal, but I use it as a topping for my El Rudere fermented dairy. I finally made it. Oh, that's exciting. You finally made it.
Congratulations on the successful batch.
Yeah. Oh, when it's
But also,
successful, it is amazing.
I like the fact that she's saying that she's using it as kind of like a topping or a
Yeah.
garnish almost, because then it's like, okay, you can enjoy that, but not feel like and not feel deprived, but also, you're not
Yeah.
overdoing it. That is
Yeah.
a skill that I have yet to develop fully.
Yeah. Well, and so that's what I would do with like the perfect keto cereal and stuff. It was almost never that I would have it just with, milk or some milk substitute. um, it was always a topping on something.
For me, it was not very often that I would just use it. Jared is the one who really uses it the most, and we still have some because I
Yeah.
bought so much stuff from Perfect Keto. Whenever every sale would come around, I'd be like, okay, got to get that backlog going. So
Same.
all of my all of my jars are like the old packaging with like the aqua
Yeah.
teal color, and I'm like, I know the packaging is all different now, but also I'm rotating the stock here.
Yep.
Um,
Do it.
but yeah, Jared, he can go in and he can get like, a tiny little quarter cup volume of the perfect keto cereal and just be content with that. And I'm like, I cannot. I
Yeah.
cannot. I'm not
Yeah.
there. But also it's super hard for my teeth, not to be a weenie, but
Yeah. That is a unique cereal. I'd say it's almost more like a granola because of how crunchy it is.
definitely that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
It's
whenever you grind it up, it works out really nicely as crust. So
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. It's fantastic for like a graham cracker crust. We probably shouldn't be talking about it because I don't think they are selling it anymore. Is it gone officially from the site?
this is
Yeah.
another reason why we're not like super financially successful on the YouTubes.
Yeah. What should we talk about that's actually selling right now? Oh, Keto Chow came out with their vanilla cream and strawberry cream. It's back in stock. Go buy that. It's available.
Also, they just finished the Irish cream sale, so I'm sorry that you missed
Don't
that.
talk about that. You're doing it again.
Hey, listen, it's slowly getting closer to spring, which means just anticipate those spring flavors that are seasonal coming out at some point between now and
Before
the end
spring
of
is over.
spring.
Yeah. It'll happen. It'll happen.
Hopefully.
Chris and Miriam don't let us down. Never.
No, but I will also say, like, all of their main, like, regular products, they're also pretty solid. I do love banana.
Yeah.
Banana's good.
Yeah. I should make a chocolate banana with some banana extract with the core. I hadn't thought about that one. I'm gonna do that.
That's a fantastic idea.
Yeah. Dustin says keto cereals are $10 a box, basically, and that's just really one bowl. No matter what they say, the serving size is. Yeah, that is so true. Okay, so I may have talked about this on a stream before, but I bought, I think, 2 boxes of the Magic Spoon cereal. It's been all over the place, and I was like, I had never tried it, and it was at grocery outlet for pretty cheap, and so I got a couple boxes. It's actually legitimately good. Like, it was good. Even Jeff tried it and he liked it, and so I was like, "Whoa." And so I think it's more cereal-like than the perfect keto cereal. It's
Yeah.
it
So
scratches the itch for an actual cereal.
you and I had the conversation too. And I had been getting Catalina Crunch, the cinnamon toast version of that for my
Oh, yeah.
youngest, Lauren, and she loved it. And it was one of those things where it was like, okay, I know it's not phenomenal on the ingredient list, but it's
It's better
also
than Cinnamon Toast
something
Crunch.
that is very simple for her to get going in the mornings on her own. And then she grabs like a cup of yogurt and she's good to go.
Yeah.
So it was really more about the simplicity of her being able to do it all
Yeah.
by herself. We're
Yeah.
building confidence here, people. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
And so you had suggested that the Magic Spoon was actually like really good. So I went ahead and I got a box of the chocolate and a box of the cinnamon. And she's been working her way through the chocolate one, and she seems to love it. I mean, she loved the Catalina Crunch too.
Yeah.
But it definitely has a slightly different texture and definitely
Yeah.
it's not going to waste around these parts. Plus,
Yeah.
my kid, she eats like a half cup maybe, and she's also just like me. She has to have it dry.
Modern. Oh. Yeah. Well, I have
It's
found that
genetic.
I do not like pea protein. Anything with that pea protein, oh man, I do not enjoy it. So the
Yeah.
Catalina Crunch has that, and then I tried some bars from Trader Joe's a while back. Horrible. I gave them to the chickens. I don't even know if the chickens ate them. And then
They're real bad if the chicken.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's not real food. So I have been ordering Keto Brick recently, and I really like a lot of their flavors, the ones with the whey protein. And I
Yeah.
just, ordered some of every flavor. I didn't really think about which protein was in it. And the
Mhm.
ones with the pea protein and the brown rice protein, not my favorite. But now that I'm dairy free for however long, I'm like, this is my chance to use them up. So I've been using. They're actually really, really helpful for hitting macros because they're so high in fat. And when you can't have
Yeah.
dairy, it's like, normally just add a little bit of, sour cream or
Cheese.
something. And yeah, and I can't do that. So, and like adding just oil or, animal fat is just not quite as fun. So having that keto brick, it is really handy, and I'm trying to, enjoy it as much as I can with
Yeah.
pea proteins and stuff. But anyways, I was just like, wow, I really don't like pea protein. That is
Are you like just breaking off a chunk, weighing it, and then consuming it? Or do you do what Joe from Two Crazy Ketos does, where he melts them down into the little tiny hockey puck deals?
I don't have time for that. If I'm gonna go to the trouble of doing that, I'm just gonna make it myself. Which actually I would like to try to work on a recipe with like Equip beef protein.
Sure.
Because I would rather have a beef protein if I'm going to be dairy free than a pea protein just for
Yeah.
flavor's sake.
Yeah.
So I might
Yeah.
do that because I mean it's pretty simple. Like I love Keto Brick and I love the small business and I do order from them and I support them. And if I were still doing dairy, I would just have the whey protein ones. But since I can't do that at the moment, I might try to work on some beef protein recipe that's still dairy free because it's mainly the cacao butter as the fat, which I think is has a lot of good health benefits.
I love using the cocoa butter stuff. I've been working. Oh, well, finish your story and then I can talk.
Oh no, that was it. That was it. I hate pea protein. That's all.
I've been working on for years now, just kind of piddling around with it here and there, doing a shelf stable kind of a chocolate bar that's
Yeah.
low carb. And I've not quite gotten there yet. It's also not my primary focus. So
Wait, you have
that's
other things
another,
to do?
I mean, I dabble in a lot of stuff, just educating my children
Children,
and cleaning my
husband.
house and feeding my family. I
Ugh,
just dabble.
sounds
I'm just
terrible.
kind of piddling around over here. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is definitely something on my radar to like work out because I mean, going back to the Oreo thing way earlier,
Mhm.
back in 2018, I found black cocoa powder
Yes.
in a little Mennonite shop in the town that we lived in Wisconsin at that time. And I made like an Oreo keto chocolate, but it was made with coconut oil. So it had to stay either in the fridge or the freezer. Otherwise, it would melt everywhere.
Mhm.
So making a black cocoa um like shelf stable-ish like
Mhm.
type of non-meltable chocolate is definitely on the radar, but
Mhm.
so is everything else.
Well, we'll be on the edge of our seat for that also.
One of these days these children will grow and I'll
We'll
lose
be so
interest in all
bored.
this.
We'll be so bored and we'll have all the time in the world to create shelf-stable chocolate.
Yeah, but by that point, I plan to be a semi-pro kiteboarder out in the Caribbean
Right, right.
and sailing the ocean blue. So I don't know how that's going to pan out with the
Yeah, you might have
creating
to
of
retire
recipes.
from kitchen experimenter.
I mean, I don't know if y'all are aware of this or not, but I've got at least 7,000 different hobby ideas that I want to accomplish before I die.
Yeah, children are they really make it difficult to
I
accomplish
mean, like,
hobbies.
it's a great challenge, but also it's like all of this passion and all of this energy and all of this youthfulness in my almost completed 4 years of or 4 decades of life, it's
Mhm.
gonna fade, and I'd really like to get out there and be a pro kiteboarder someday.
It'll happen.
Also snowboarder, gotta
Yeah,
have both ends of the spectrum
yeah.
there.
You don't wanna just, go too far on one type of board.
Well, I mean, like, I love the extreme, so I wanna go down to the Caribbean and hang out in the humid heat, but then I
Mhm.
wanna go back to the Rockies, and I wanna be,
Or to Mount
cutting it
Hood.
up. I mean, Mount Hood's great, but also, like, Breckenridge and Crested Butte.
You have to come visit me.
I mean, I can totally do yep, we're doing that too.
Yeah,
We'll do that too.
yeah. Sugar cookie crunch, I never had that one. That sounds dangerous.
I'm sorry. I heard the fridge hanging out open and it
Oh,
started to
dear.
ding and I was like,
Oh,
"Who's
that's
in the
fine.
fridge for that long?"
Happens. Okay, biscuit experiment. Further proof, once an addict, always an addict. Yeah, that my biscuit experiment. Very enlightening. This will be an ongoing struggle. Yeah, there's definitely like brain things that
Yeah.
are hard to overcome, but they can be overcome. Like you can change your neural pathways, which is which is good.
And then I kinda, some of it goes back to just like practicing or exercising that discipline muscle, saying like, I really want this, but I can choose to say no.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can't, I can't do that
Yeah.
yet.
Sometimes it's hard. Okay, the latest Keto Twins video, strawberry and white chocolate pork rinds made like puppy chow. Yeah, I've seen some recipes for like puppy chow type things using pork rinds. They do look pretty good. That crunch in there is pretty tasty. Okay, cereal out of cottage cheese, pureed with flavored protein powder. I bought a special baking sheet with tiny dots. Oh my god,
Okay.
I think it's supposed to be
Okay.
dog treats. That's
Okay.
that's interesting.
Yeah, that's very interesting. I wouldn't have thought about the cottage cheese portion of it, but whey protein, it really does work wonders in baking.
Yeah, I have not experimented a lot with whey protein, but I have been curious about it. But now I'm
Well, you're
dairy-free
gonna have to,
for the time being.
right, you're gonna have to set those curiosities aside, write them down on a card and come back to them if
Yeah.
Jonathan Shane ever releases you from your
Yeah.
dairy-free life.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I did get a little ice cube tray because I was thinking about if I ever make something like a keto brick with a different protein.
Yeah.
It's like it's an ice cube tray, but the ice cubes are like teeny, teeny, tiny. And it's like this whole little
Nice.
silicone thing. And I was like, ooh, that would be easy to like just pour the stuff in and
Fill
yeah, be fun to have like little tiny because I think keto brick, if they like made little bags of little like
the
pellets or
cubes.
yeah, or something like that, I think people it'd just be more usable then because it is not fun or easy to eat a brick.
Sure. But I also do kind of wonder if they're in those little tiny bite-sized cubes, how much more poppable and how much less capable you would be of controlling or
Maybe.
assessing your hunger.
Maybe. Mm,
Like that would be the only caveat that I
yeah,
would bring up. Well, not
yeah,
the only one, but
yeah.
like that
So
would be
when I
the
have some
first
keto
one.
brick, yeah, I pull it out, I slice off some, and then it kinda just crumbles a little bit,
Crumbles
like,
up.
this little
Mhm.
then I have little pieces, and I can put away the rest, and I have to weigh it out. Yeah,
Ew.
I know, it's the worst. Okay. S let's see. Many pork canned goods, sweet pork rinds containing sugar, so I'm afraid I will get hooked. Yep, that is one where, sometimes it's easier just not to have it in the house. Just saying. With keto brick, one of the things I like about it is that I don't have that, like, I just wanna keep eating it,
Oh, sure.
and when I first tasted it at KetoCon, I was like, it's okay." It's not like a candy, like I don't know.
No.
It's
Yeah,
sweet
when
with
I
stevia, but
yeah,
it's not a trigger for me at all, like, I
right.
enjoy it, but it doesn't feel like I'm eating a chocolate bar or something that I just
Yeah.
keep eating, which
Like,
is a good thing.
I think I really liked the blueberry muffin one that they had.
Oh, yeah. They
That
haven't had
one,
that one for a while, so I haven't been able to order it.
I really liked that one a lot. But I agree with you, it's not something that could be just, like, continuously inhaled.
Yeah.
Like, it has its own natural kinda, like, limiting factors to it, and I love foods that give you that sort of, like, built-in limiter because
Yeah.
I cannot for myself.
Right. Yeah, and so
Nah, I choose not. How about that? Maybe I could learn to.
so that's, like, the huge struggle with keto, like, creating recipes or creating products is, like,
Mhm.
you do such a good job and you make it so delicious that you get criticized for it being, a trigger and can't
Yeah,
control it. It's too good. And then when it's
yeah.
not, when it's not that, then everyone's like, "Ooh, that could be better." Like, I could
Right.
never win.
Do this again, but betterer. How about
Yeah.
that?
Yeah, well, then you get the 2 different people saying, "This is too good and this is not good
Not good
enough."
enough.
And, sometimes it's on the same recipe.
That's right. That's
Honestly,
right.
like, 'cause like, with the egg white bread, I will get comments from people saying, "This is the most amazing thing," and, like, the 2 Crazy Ketos said that they had to stop making it because it was too much of a they'd just eat the whole loaf with a whole bunch of butter, and then
Yeah.
other people I still get comments from people like, "This is the most disgusting thing ever." You know, it's
like, thank you for your
never mind.
input. That
You can
helps me so much.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
appreciate your
It
lack of
really is
clarity on
helpful.
exactly what's gross.
Yeah. Well, and then in the opposite ear is, "This is so good. What do
Right.
we do with that?"
Yeah.
Everyone's different. That's what I do with
I
that.
guess we just keep swimming.
Okay, let's see, I was trying to see what Risa serving size on the package is 2/3 of a cup, 2 small cereal serving. I don't know
Which
which
cereal that
cereal,
was
maybe the
referring to?
Magic Spoon. Yeah. I
Perfect Keto,
mean, has
maybe?
there ever been an appropriate serving size on a cereal
Here's
ever?
my thing. Like, if they're gonna make soup bowls and cereal bowls to be 17 ounces, then why would it not be that the manufacturers of foods would say, okay, approximately a cup and a half, 2 cups would
Yeah.
be a serving. Like,
They
let's try
probably
not to like
legally
finagle the
can't.
numbers.
They probably legally can't because it would be so obvious how unhealthy it is if they did that. They have to say, "This is only 150 calories," and
Point made.
yeah,
Yeah,
so
point made.
can't do it. Jackie says that the Perfect
Dumb.
Tea cereal has too much of a cooling effect. I definitely did
It
get that when I ate it
yeah.
plain, but if I ate it,
Mhm.
like, as a topping on yogurt, it wouldn't bother me.
Sure. Using it as a
Um,
crust also, I don't really find it to be, too noticeable either.
yeah. Okay. Sing It asked, did you do the sweetened pork rinds and milk?" Yes, I did. I have to fight ordering them now. The thought is triggering. Yep. If you have ever had a cereal thing in your past, maybe do yourself a favor and just don't.
Or
Yeah.
really consider the path of, like, what happens if
Yeah.
dot, dot, dot.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I feel like nowadays it's easier to avoid a lot of these things just because of the fact that the cost is just kinda slowly becoming a little bit prohibitive on lots of these things,
Yeah.
to where it's like, okay, I can choose meat and eggs, or I can choose a 2 servings of cereal
Yeah.
situation. So,
A lot of times it's
you
not
know,
worth it. Yeah. Yeah, and Jackie says that it was too crunchy. It is mighty crunchy, the perfect keto cereal. Mighty
definitely.
crunchy. Ooh, lunch today was keto crackers and Swiss cheese. That sounds
Yum.
like a good lunch. I I really liked the crackers from, Low Carb
Low
Spin.
carb spin.
Those were really good. I'm gonna have to go back and see if I can make those dairy-free because that would be really good. They
Yeah.
have some whey protein, but it's pretty small amount. I could probably use beef protein, like, leave out the cheese powder. I need to do that. Those are so good. Sometimes just having that little bit of a crunch is nice.
Makes
I
all the
mean, steak and
difference.
vegetables is great, but it doesn't usually crunch like a cracker,
It's true.
unless you get carnivore crisps or something. But still, there's something about a cracker.
There is something about a cracker, especially with like dip.
Yes, yes. Guacamole or something. Yeah, because there's not a lot you can have guacamole, like, you need to have a
I mean,
dip.
like, you
Flavor.
can do it with the carnivore crisps,
Yeah,
but
it's not bad.
it's not quite as satisfying as, like, something that has more of a I don't wanna say mealy texture, but, like, it
Like,
crumbles
starchy.
in your mouth. Yeah, starchy texture, that's the better
Yeah,
word for it.
it's just different.
Also, I just caught a glimpse of my hand, and my goodness, my hand looks weird. Massive.
I did not think that. I doubt anyone watching thought that. This is a you thing.
Just gonna clean away.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, Karen says that the cereal was too hard for your teeth. Yep. If you, like, let it sit in the milk for a while, it was not bad. Um, and, maybe they designed it that way, the Perfect Keto cereal, so that you just wouldn't eat it too fast.
Down it.
You
Maybe
gotta
so.
eat slow, small
It's
bites.
valid.
Uh, Dustin says, "Wish Perfect Keto would be more transparent." Yeah,
Hmm.
are you talking about, like, what they're going through as a company? Because if that's what you're talking about, I think they don't really know where they're at. So I don't know that they know they have information to be transparent about. I think they're trying to figure it out. But yeah, I don't have any more information. Just that they're trying to get things back up and running. And I've seen a lot of like ads, um, email
Yeah.
ads and social media ads and stuff. So I think there's, they're working on it, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know any more than that. Okay. Well, we are coming up on an hour and I do need to jump off
Do
not too
things.
late. Yeah, I have to go run a quick errand and then get back for my coaching session with Jonathan.
Coaching call.
So exciting. Okay, but let's see if we have any more comments here we need to address. Yeah. Hayden says, I also bought the Magic Spoon cereal at grocery outlet. It was fine, but the store is 30 miles across the city. It was good enough to make that trip. Yeah, sometimes it's good, but
That's a long distance to drive
yeah,
for
yeah. Sometimes you need a little bit of a barrier for something so dangerously delicious.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh yeah. So Sing It says, I wanted to like the Catalina cereal. I did too.
It
Like,
very
so
well could be.
yeah. So at Christmas, I think last year or maybe the year before, my husband's aunt gave all of us a bag of Catalina Crunch. Like, so we had like, I don't know, 6 or 7 bags of Catalina Crunch cereal. And so everyone was excited to try it. The kids did not like it at all. Like they wouldn't. They liked the Magic Spoon. They did not like the Catalina Crunch. And I was like, it's
What
food.
do
I
I
don't
do
want
with this
to waste
now?
it. And it gave me like the feeling of eating cereal, but the taste was so bad. Yeah. I do not recommend myself.
We have only ever tried the cinnamon one, so yeah. And Lauren was obsessed with it, but Lauren also never has like been exposed to standard Fat American diet type stuff.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things where like she has no reference as to what like maybe not no reference, but exceptionally limited reference to what like cinnamon toast crunch typically should taste like. So
Right. Yeah, that's probably good. Happy Little is asking, what's the best tool to figure out your macros?
hire Jonathan Shane.
Yeah, there you go. I don't have a good answer for this because you could go to all different calculators and they'll give you all different answers. So it really does take trial and error and just finding what works for you, but that's not easy. So I don't have a good my suggestion is find something, try it, see how you feel, and make adjustments if needed. Which takes work. Yeah.
That was something I was thinking about. Just like everything requires you to slowly but surely to put one foot in front of the other and just walk down the path. And if you have to shift the path, then so be it. But gosh, just putting one foot in front of the other seems to take so long when it's like I could literally go just like hop in my car and I could get 7 miles faster than I could just walking.
Yeah. Jackie wants to know what your shirt says.
Oh, my shirt says, sometimes, can we get the whole motivation finds you?
Very true.
Sometimes motivation finds you. That's what it is.
Yes. Cindy is here. She says,
Hi,
not
Cindy.
a fan of keto bricks, even though she does melt them down for her husband. She does not like them. I find that completely understandable because like I said, I don't find them to be like delicious candy. I like them, but they're not like candy. So I get it if someone doesn't like them. And like I said, I don't care for the pea protein ones. Not my thing. But I'm using them up because I paid money for them and I will not throw them in. I will not feed them to the chickens. I draw the line there. That's keto brick. I'm not going to feed keto brick to the chickens.
Yeah, but think about the bionic eggs you could get from them.
Yeah, ooh, maybe the chickens would get really buff. Bodybuilder chickens.
I mean, and I will also say, like, because of the fact that they're not as bingeable as, like, some other, like, actual keto candy bars that you can find on the market, like, I feel like that's a huge credit to it, honestly, because
Yeah,
then it's like, I will eat this because my body needs nutrition, and it does taste good enough to quell some of the craving type things, but then I don't feel like I'm gonna go off the rails. Now, granted, I've not actually like purchased bricks. I've only tried it at the KetoCon.
right,
So
right.
RIP
Um,
KetoCon.
all right. I wanted to get this question. Penny says, tried the carnivore bread the other day. The texture was styrofoam. I added baking powder. So I'm not sure which recipe. I'm assuming Courtney Luna's carnivore bread because mine aren't typically carnivore because they have allulose and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm surprised that if it was Courtney Luna's bread that it was like styrofoam because mine turned out, you know, soft, wet,
Spongy,
almost like yeah,
dense,
similar to banana bread, but more
more
eggy.
cakey.
So I'm surprised that adding baking powder would have made it spongy. I know that the egg white breads, I played with doing baking soda and baking powder in there, and that made those really spongy.
Mm.
Wash your car with it, and it would keep its shape. Spongy. It was bad. It made
It
it
looks like
like
she
really nice and bubbly, but the texture was horrible.
looks
'Cause
like she
she
said yes, it was the Courtney Luna one.
Okay, that's surprising. I
So
don't know what would have caused it to be
yeah. I mean,
styrofoamy.
I've tried it too, and for me, I decided to switch it over into a bread pudding instead of just eating it as sliced bread because
Yeah,
it just didn't hit for me the way that I think it would hit for somebody who does eat carnivore.
yeah,
Because I'm, more of a straight up keto person.
right,
I've got other things that I can use that make me a little bit more satisfied
right. It's
than
kinda
what
like
she
your
was
daughter that
accomplishing.
doesn't that never really tasted Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, so as far as the bread, I don't see myself using it as, like, sandwich bread. It was more like a dessert bread,
French toast
French
style.
toast, bread pudding, yeah, but then, I mean, it has dairy in it, so I'm not eating it anyway.
Womp womp
Yeah.
womp.
Okay, well, we should jump off here because we are over an hour. Thank you for
Yep.
joining us on all 3 of our live streams today. Next week, hopefully, we'll just have the 2, when we figure out our
Maybe.
technical difficulties, issues. Um, yeah, but we will be back next week, same time, same place,
Hope you
and
can be here.